Did you know that ancient warriors had superhuman pain tolerance levels? Well, I am gonna show you exactly how they did this and why schools are hiding it from us today. You will not believe what I have to say in this video. And by the end of it, you will be able to understand how you can do this too, because trust me, this is something that everybody should know. Welcome back to the channel. Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button. The warrior mindset is for those who want to become mentally strong and who want to improve their overall quality of life. We release new videos every single day, so there's always fresh content for you to learn from. And let's dive straight into today's topic. I bet you didn't know that one day during the Battle of Thermopylae, King Leonidas of Sparta ordered his 300 Spartan soldiers to drink a special type of wine. Why? Well, if you stay with me till the end, I will explain everything about it. But first, you need to hear the story of how these soldiers drank massive amounts of wine before going into battle. During the Battle of Thermopylae, King Leonidas of Sparta led his 300 elite soldiers against the invading Persian army. During this battle, the Spartans faced an enemy that was vastly superior in numbers, but despite being outnumbered, they fought bravely and held their ground. The Spartans were known for their discipline, courage, and endurance, and they displayed these qualities in full force at the hot gates. However, what many people don't know is that before going into battle, the Spartans drank a special type of wine. And this wine wasn't just any ordinary wine. It was a carefully selected blend of red and white wine that was specifically chosen to help the Spartans endure the pain of battle. The Spartans believed that this wine would give them the strength and stamina to fight until the end, no matter how heavy the casualties might be. In fact, Herodotus, a Greek historian who lived in the 5th century BC, wrote that the Spartans drank this wine before going into battle because they believed it made them feel less pain. According to Herodotus, the Spartans were so confident in the power of this wine that they even gave it to the Persian captives before sacrificing them to the gods. The Spartans believed that the wine would help the captives to face their death with courage and without fear. You see, the Spartans weren't the only ones who drank wine before battle. Other ancient cultures such as the Romans and the Assyrians also drank wine before going into battle. They believed that wine would give them the courage and confidence they needed to fight their enemies. But what was the secret behind the Spartans' use of wine? Was it just a superstition, or was there a real medical reason behind it? Well, it turns out that there is a scientific explanation for the Spartans' use of wine. According to experts, the wine that the Spartans drank contained high levels of sugar, which helped them to boost their energy levels and reduce their fatigue. This is because when the body breaks down sugar, it releases glucose, which is used by the body for energy. Additionally, the wine also contained small amounts of alcohol, which acted as an anesthetic, helping to reduce pain and make the drinkers more tolerant to it. So the next time you're feeling a little bit sore and achy, maybe you should reach for a glass of wine. Just kidding. Of course, you shouldn't drink alcohol if you're under the legal drinking age, and you shouldn't do it excessively because alcohol can be very harmful to your health. Now, moving on to our next story, we all know the legendary story of Alexander the Great. He was a true warrior and king who built an empire that stretched from Greece to India. His military tactics were brilliant, and he was known for his bravery in battle. However, what many people don't know is that Alexander the Great had a secret weapon that helped him to become the undefeated warrior that he was. And that secret weapon was none other than vinegar. Yes, you heard me right. Alexander the Great, the man who conquered 3 continents and defeated countless armies, did so with the help of vinegar. But how exactly did he use vinegar to become an undefeated warrior? Well, you see, Alexander the Great wasn't just a warrior, he was also a conqueror of pain. He believed that pain was a weakness and that those who could endure pain the most were the true warriors. And so he developed a unique method of treating his wounds that involved using vinegar. According to historians, Alexander the Great would cover his wounds with vinegar and then apply a bandage over it. The vinegar would act as an antiseptic, killing the bacteria and preventing infection. But it would also numb the area around the wound, reducing pain and inflammation. This method of treating wounds was not only effective, but it was also a way for Alexander to toughen himself up and make himself more resilient to pain. In fact, there are many historical accounts of Alexander the Great participating in brutal competitions that involved pain endurance. One such competition was the Contest of the Great Kings, where Alexander competed against the Persian king Darius III. The two warriors were tied together with ropes and then whipped by their servants until one of them tapped out. And guess who won this competition? That's right, Alexander the Great. Alexander's obsession with pain and his desire to conquer it went beyond just physical pain. He also believed that mental toughness was just as important as physical toughness. He would often challenge his friends and advisors to test his mental fortitude. For example, he once asked his friend Ptolemy to insult him as much as possible to see how long it would take for him to lose his cool. And let me tell you, it took quite a lot to make Alexander angry. So the next time you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed by pain, whether it's physical or mental, remember the legendary Alexander the Great and his undying spirit of a warrior. Just like him, you too can overcome any obstacle that comes your way. And finally, the last story of an ancient warrior who had superhuman pain tolerance is the story of Genghis Khan. Now, if you don't know who he was, well, then let me tell you. Genghis Khan was a warrior, a conqueror, and a leader like no other. He founded the Mongol Empire and became the first person to unite the nomadic tribes of Mongolia under one banner. He led his armies on a rampage across Asia and Europe, conquering vast territories and leaving a trail of both awe and destruction in his wake. But what many people do and know is that Genghis Khan had a secret weapon that helped him to endure unimaginable pain and lead his armies to victory. And that secret weapon was none other than honey. Yes, you heard me right. The man who built an empire that stretched from the Pacific Ocean to Eastern Europe did so with the help of honey. According to history books, Genghis Khan was known for his ability to endure extreme pain without flinching. In fact, there's a story about how he was shot in the neck with an arrow during a battle, but he didn't even seem to flinch. Instead, he pulled the arrow out of his neck, dipped it in honey, and ate it. And I know it sounds crazy, but there's a reason behind this bizarre behavior. See, honey has been used for centuries as a natural painkiller and antiseptic. Its high sugar content helps to boost energy levels, while its antibacterial properties help to prevent infection. So when Genghis Khan dipped his arrow in honey and ate it, he was actually using a traditional Mongol method of treating wounds. It may sound disgusting to us today, but back then it was considered a sign of bravery and resilience. In fact, dipping the arrow in honey wasn't the only way that Genghis Khan used this natural remedy. He also had his soldiers spread honey on their bodies before going into battle. This helped to protect them from insect bites and other injuries. And it also gave them a boost of energy when they were exhausted. But why did Genghis Khan choose honey over other natural remedies? Well, it's because he knew that honey was not only effective, but it was also a symbol of his Mongol pride. You see, the Mongols believed that honey was a gift from the gods, and they used it in many of their religious ceremonies. They also believed that eating honey gave them strength and power, and this belief was especially important for Genghis Khan, who wanted his soldiers to be strong and fearless in battle. So the next time you're feeling a little bit under the weather, maybe you should reach for a spoonful of honey. Just don't dip your spoon in it. And that's all for today. If you liked this video, then make sure to hit that subscribe button, because the warrior mindset is for those who want to become mentally strong and who want to improve their overall quality of life. We release new videos every single day, so there's always fresh content for you to learn from.